Hello, hello, everybody. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Tuesday, July 26th, 2022. And here are some of today's trends in the news. Oh, no Trends Journal? No, we're taking a break this week because we worked like crazy in the last week to put on the wonderful Freedom, Peace, and Justice rally right here in Kingston, New York. And what a time it was. Packed house, flooding out into the streets, wonderful, great people. You can go to occupypeace.com to watch the whole rally. Judge Napolitano, Scott Ritter, Gary Null, Phil Giraldi, former CIA guy, myself, the Hot Damn Band. Everybody was wonderful. And this national peace rally with some of the biggest names in America was blacklisted by the mainstream media. We sent out thousands and thousands and thousands of press releases over 3 weeks. Didn't even get local coverage. They did some stupid thing. It was the headline story, Brazimateas, like 20 people go, ugh. Nothing. Peace is a dirty word. Prostitutes hate peace. They're media whores who love wars. By their deeds you shall know them. You go back to fairness and accuracy reporting and see what they did during the Iraq War, how they blacklisted, I can't say that anymore, whitelisted people that were anti-war, knowing that they were lying that Saddam Hussein did not have weapons of mass destruction and ties to Al-Qaeda. And Phil Giraldi, former CIA guy, quit. He was one of the speakers because the CIA knew it was lies. Not one peep about a peace movement. Hey, if we were all out there supporting Ukraine, we would have made the news big time. But to honor our founding fathers, like George Washington, who said, observe good faith and justice to all nations, cultivate peace and harmony with all, you're blacklisted. They hate Washington. These are people that are disgraces to our country, to hate the founding fathers. Yep. His farewell address, George Washington also said that any nation which indulges towards another in habitual hatred or in habitual fondness is in some degree a slave. Yeah, don't love a country, don't hate a country. We're Americans. They're taking down a statue over there. The guy wants to take it down of Catherine the Great in Ukraine. Oh, when was the statue from? Around 1750, she was hanging around. And they hate her because what she did to the Ukrainians. I mean, this has been going back and forth since 1750. You want me to get involved in this? Oh, and last week, yep, more of our dough sent to Ukraine to keep bloodying the killing fields. That's right. More of our money. The White House on Friday announced another $270 million worth of security assistance. Isn't that a nice name? Security assistance? Weapons of death. The newest batch of supplies will include HIMARS rockets, HIMARS, a large quantity of ammunition, as well as hundreds of Phoenix Ghost suicide drones. Isn't that nice? We're at war with Russia. This isn't a proxy war. You're sending suicide drones and weapons of death. World War III has begun. I'm heartbroken. We put so much energy into making this happen. This cost a lot of money. Not a peep from the prostitutes about peace. Not a peep. Occupy peace. A dirty word for these slimy, low-life pieces of scum. And save your shit. Don't yell, Salenti. If you didn't yell, you're in a fight. You got it? How many years have I been calm? And now they're killing us, and you don't want me to yell as they're stealing our money, murdering people, and creating a crisis around the world. Because now we could go into some of the economics. But before we do, mankind must put an end to war, or war will put an end to mankind. Oh, really? Who said that? Some lefty freak coward? No. John F. Kennedy, a man that fought in World War II. A man that didn't want the Vietnam War, and they killed him. They're going to put an end to mankind. We have mentally ill people in charge. Zelensky refuses peace talks. Yep. He won't stop until Russia gets smashed. Quote, smashed. You're not going to beat them. They over control 20% of the country already. Keep moving in. But our national peace rally filled, the place packed, out into the streets. Even the fire engines closed down part of the streets. Not a peep from the prostitutes who hate peace and love war. Yep. So, because we're not sending out the Trends Journal this week, every day we're going to be sending you trend alerts. And today's trend alert that you're going to be getting later today, JP Morgan gang rigged gold market, America's putrid corpse of liberty, that's a quote, putrid corpse of liberty has been buried. Yeah, that's a quote. That's a quote. That's a quote from the 1930s, warning that liberty was a putrid corpse and America would come to understand it. It's in your trend alert that's going out tonight. Not my quote, someone you all know. So on the markets, Alphabet missed their earnings today after the markets closed for the second quarter. U.S. stocks fell after Walmart cut its earning forecast. Very important. Why? Walmart. That's the America of today. Big box stores. Ugly fucking places. When I grew up, there were Wanamaker's, B. Altman's, Bloomingdale's. Beautiful places. Glamour, style, grace to ugliness. Big box stores in a big boxed out, obese, overweight world. Walmart is the American way. It symbolizes the destruction of this country. So when Walmart goes down, you see the middle class going down. The Dow fell 247 points. The S&P lost 1.3, and the NASDAQ 2%. Yep. Again, it's a sign of America, Walmart. When Walmart goes down, so too does America. Their stocks plunged 8% today. Kohl's and Target dropped 7 and 5% respectively. Macy's was down 6%, almost. On and on. So here's what they say. The retail turmoil bled into e-commerce stocks. This is CNBC. Shopify tumbled 15% after the payments provider announced it's laying off about 10% of its global workforce. Go back to your Trends Journal. Each week we're putting the layoffs going in. We're the only ones doing this. We're showing the reality. You ready? Citing a pullback on online spending and saying it misjudged how long the pandemic-fueled e-commerce boom would last. It's not a pandemic-fueled e-commerce boom. It was a pandemic-fueled e-commerce boom that was fueled by politicians locking down. They keep blaming everything on the pandemic, attributing things to the pandemic, attributed to the people that did it. Scumbags like Gavin Newsom, slime balls like little Andy Cuomo, witless little Whitmere up in Michigan. The wine. You want a little freakier cat than that clown over there in Ohio? One after another. True dope up in Canada. Italy, locked down. Don't blame the pandemic. And that's why you subscribe to the Trends Journal. We're giving you the facts. They're feeding you shit. Oh, that's the other thing. Salenti, calm down. Swallow my shit. Don't yell as we shove it down your throat. Be a coward like the rest of the country. Oh, be calm. More honey. Honeys. I had enough. I see where this is going. And if we don't unite for peace, we're going to die in war. You need more proof? It's happening. When all else fails, they take you to war, and we are in the crash of a lifetime. A crash of a lifetime. Yep. Oh, UPS shares only flipped for. You ready? On the flip side, Coca-Cola shares rose 2.2%, and shares of McDonald's added 3%. You know why? Because the people are eating shit, drinking shit, and swallowing shit. And tomorrow, we're going to see with the Fed heads how much they raise interest rates. They say 75 basis points, still nothing when you have inflation running at 9.1%, nothing. And the liars had said 2% inflation rate, they would raise it. So in other words, your interest rate should be over 10% right now. Natural gas prices surged around the world. More than 11% at one point, to the highest level since July 2008. July 2008. What happened in July 2008? Oh, I'm Gerald Salenti, the guy that took out the domain name Panic of 08 in 2007. The man that called the 1987 stock market crash, the dot-com bust, the Asian currency crisis. That 2008. And now you're seeing natural gas prices like this. Wonder why they got like that. They're up only 66%. And putting it on track for the best month going back to the contract's inception since 1990. Up 66% this month. In Europe, Dutch TTF natural gas futures jumped nearly 20%. Yep. The move follows a 10% gain on Monday. How come? This is not the end of Russia's weaponization of natural gas flows, in our view, and there remain few near-term alternatives for even current reduced flows of to the European Union, lending to ongoing upside price risks, RBC wrote in a note to client. It's a total lie. It's not Russia's weaponization. It's the moronics of Biden and NATO putting these sanctions on Russia. End of story. But the prostitute, low-life pieces of scum shit won't say it. They only bring in the clowns that bow down and suck up their crap. Putin's aggression against Ukraine will end up costing Russia dearly, economically and strategically. Biden said, we'll make sure of that. Oh, that was back when he put the sanctions on, huh? Guess you didn't make sure of that. So before the war, prices were going up. But before the war, gas in the United States was around $3.50 a gallon. Hit $5 a gallon over it, and now it's about $4.35, $1 higher. Back in April, Biden said, together with our allies and our partners, we're going to keep raising the economic cost and ratcheting up the pain on Putin. Nope. You ratcheted up the pain on the people, but the slime ball lowlives, prostitutes, media whores that get paid to put out by their corporate pimps and government whoremasters never mention this. So gold prices. They're stuck in this narrow range, and the International Monetary Fund cut global growth forecast again today, warning a bigger downside, especially for the United States. But the dollar rose again because last week they made a big deal about it. The European Central Bank raised interest rates a lousy, stinking 50 basis points to bring it up to zero from minus 0.50. So the dollar's getting strong only because the other ones are getting weaker. Gold should go through the roof. Gold through the roof, but why isn't it going through the roof? And that is in your trend alert today. It's very, very clear. We spell it out in chapter and verse why it isn't happening. I got to find it here again. JP Morgan gang rig gold market. It's right there. America's, quote, putrid course of liberty has been buried. Gold prices should be in the 2,500s. Silver prices should be in the hundreds. The facts are in your trends journal. This isn't a made-up conspiracy theory. It's a fact of what's going on. And what else? South Africa sets largest interest rate rise for nearly 20 years. The country's going down the crapper. They're raising the interest rates, making it more expensive for poor people to buy inflated products. You're going to see the New World Disorder that we wrote about as one of our top trends escalate to levels beyond the belief. But don't worry, when all else fails, they take you to war. Calipers records first loss since 2009 in tumultuous period. GM shares slide on preparations for, quote, moderate economic downturn. Moderate economic downturn? What are they going to say? Oh, stocks are going down, but it's only moderate. Oh, like inflation is temporary and transitory. Moderate is... That is bullshit. That's right, coming out of the mouth of bullshitters. Okay. U.S. consumer behavior signals fears over inflation. Wonder why. Third consecutive month. World's biggest consumer names announce soaring price increases. Yep. Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Unilever. People eat more crap. They keep raising the prices. U.S. home prices are on the cusp of a major correction. Yep. You think that's going to be bad? Wait till commercial office real estate crash is going to be unparalleled in history. The soaring crime rates that we had forecast when they began to lock down are going to keep soaring. The COVID damage that politicians have done is incalculable. We're going through the worst period of living history, and it's only going to get worse. And remember, when all else fails, they take you to war. Difficulty paying bills tops pandemic high in U.S. Census survey. Not pandemic high, lockdown high. 4 in 10 adults say they have somewhat or very difficult to cover usual household expenses. Chicken companies settle antitrust case. Yep, they could do all the antitrust they want. They get a slap on the wrist. Nobody goes to jail. Sega to buy rival Grupo for a $6.8 billion deal. Mention it because the bigs keep getting bigger as Amazon seals deal with One Medical for almost $4 billion. Here, headline in today's Wall Street Journal, Russia strikes school, presses attacks. Where was the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, BBC, ABC, NBC, all of them doing this day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, with America's wars against Iraq, with America's wars against Afghanistan, with America's wars against Libya, with America's wars against Syria, with the worst humanitarian crisis going on right now, Yemen. Where was the media? Why weren't they doing this? Why? Because they're media whores who get paid to put out by their corporate pimps and government whoremasters. And what else? Ukraine's war crimes inquiry struggles to identify suspects. How about America's war crimes? How about George W. Bush's war crimes for lying us into the war, the Iraq war, that Phil Giraldi, top CIA guy, knew, along with others? How come there are no war crimes? And Phil Giraldi, being a real man, quit the CIA. And finally, we got a lot more, and it'll be in your next week's Trends Journal. But exposed to COVID, some don't get sick. No kidding. Wall Street Journal story. Why don't they get sick? How about maybe they built up their immune system? Biden, Obama, Fauci, Harris, one after another. all vax, double vax, all they got, everything, and they got COVID. Celente got no vaxes, no COVID, haven't been sick for 3 years because of natural healing, a dirty word, censorship, as they did with Dr. Joseph Mercola and others, RFK Jr. Natural healing's not allowed. You're going to have a lot in your Trends Journal next week, so subscribe to the Trends Journal, trendsjournal.com, and donate to Occupy Peace. We're fighting for peace. This isn't about me. Our team worked like crazy. You have no idea. You have no idea what we did to make this happen. We're exhausted, and I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken that we put all this energy in there to make the media, to get the peace movement going, a global one, to occupy peace rather than war. And all they do is promote war and hatred. We have to unite. If we don't, we're finished. World War II is not ancient history. Beautiful, beautiful Europe was destroyed, and millions of people were killed. Maniacs are in charge. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. with Celente and the judge. Make sure you tune in. All right, bye-bye. From COVID war to Ukraine war to world war. Are you prepared for what's next? These are unprecedented times. What's next? What's going to happen? Read the Trends Journal. We have an unsurpassed track record of forecasting history before it happens. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.